This is the Star Wars Black Series EMBO figure from the Mandalorian and Grogu movie subline. And it's number 10 in the subline series. And here is the side art. Cool Galaxy side art as always. On the other side, not much. Bottom, barcode, if that helps anybody. Back, just a short bio, and this is a real generic bio. It doesn't say anything about the character himself, Embo. It's just for Mandalorian and Grogu. Freshly freed from his plastic prison, here's Embo. First impressions, I like this figure. He's got a lot of paint hits on him for what he is. I mean, he has a lot of paint hits. Check him out on his cartridges here. They're all detailed. The buckle right here, the emblem right here. It's pretty nice. The belt, lots of paint hits. Yes, pretty cool. Even paint hits on here on the inside of his inner belt in there. One there and one on the other side. That looks really good. And overall, he's a nice figure. His hat comes off here, and he uses this in the show, or the movie, rather, like a shield. So he can kind of like, almost like Captain America's shield. He can throw this thing and waste people with it, basically. And he also uses it for, to protect himself from incoming bullets. One thing about this is when you take this off after that, it doesn't sit very good on his head. I mean, it wants to come off, so it's going to be a little tricky to keep it on his head. So for video purposes, we'll keep it off here for right now so it doesn't keep falling off. Anyway, he's a good looking figure. Lots of detail. I like the face. Yeah. Pretty nice looking. A lot of detail on the mask here part right there. He's got this high collar, so it's a little bit restrictive for his head articulation, but it's still pretty nice. And it looks pretty accurate. No soft goods here. This is all soft plastic. It does kind of get out of the way, though. It's pretty thin, and it's pretty malleable in the back here, actually. You could probably bend it up if you wanted to make it look like it's blowing in the wind. But a nice detail, even on his boots here. He's got these tassel things that hang down. It's pretty cool. The leg boots or wrappings or whatever these are. They look good. A lot of nice details on this guy. And he has, for what he is, even though he's a bit of a traffic cone with this on, he does have, underneath this, has quite a bit of range of movement. So it's actually pretty decent. So before we go into articulation, let's look at the few accessories he comes with. He comes with 3 accessories. He comes with these 2 weird little scythe-looking things. They kind of look like, sickles or something, little chopping things. Yep. I think he uses them kind of like a sickle or something. They're all right. Just black plastic, though. They do have some detail on them, though. Fairly decent looking. Yeah, not bad. And then he comes with something that looks kind of familiar. It almost looks like a bowcaster, like Chewie's bowcaster. It may even be the same kind of weapon, but it's pretty nice. It totally folds up too, though. These sides fold all the way down. They have a little articulation here and at the where they join to the weapon, so they kind of fold up out of the way like that. Then you can pop it right back out. Pretty much takes a second, just like that. So then that's the way that looks. No paint on this as usual, but it's got like a little scope. It's a pretty cool looking little weapon. Not bad. Actually, the stock, I take that back. The stock is kind of painted brown, but there's no other real shading or anything on the physical gun part of it. It's just all black plastic. And that's about it as far as accessories. Getting into Embo himself here, let's look at articulation real quick, starting at the head. The head can go down that much, almost not at all because of this collar. It probably would have a pretty good range of motion if you could take this off. And it's a softer kind of plastic. Well, it's a little bit hard, but not as soft as this. This is actually softer, the cape thing here or whatever, this wrap that he has on him. But anyway, so the head goes down that much, back that much, almost imperceptible. It does tilt a little bit, like that. Yeah, he can look up a little bit. Not much, but because it crashes out right there. He does have butterfly joints, and actually his arms are really really good. They go up pretty high. They do kind of get caught in by this thing right here. But he does have butterfly joints, no bicep swivel. Well, there is a little rotation up here at the end of the joint, but the bicep itself doesn't swivel. He's got 90-degree elbows. Uh, on both of his wrists I believe, are ball jointed. So you can pretty much put them however you want. Yep. Not bad. One cool thing about this, though, about his arms, these ball joints, or the arm butterfly joint articulation works pretty good. So you could actually have him like kind of like crossing his arms if you want. You just have to mess with it for a little bit. See, like that. He could pretty much almost cross his arms. So that's pretty good. Not bad at all. You just have to kind of work it in there a little bit, but he'll be able to pretty much have a crossed arm, folding arms if you want him like that. Not that you might want to have him like that unless you wanted to have him standing in front of the huts, just standing there. Yeah, but then he's got the usual waist articulation, goes back that much, forwards that much, hardly at all. Little side to side twist at the waist. Yep, that's about it for that. Legs can kick up. Oh, I want to say about that far before they crash out on this. Probably would go farther, but this thing is totally traffic coning them in there. There is no thigh cut, but there is a little bit of swivel up here at the hip joint, so that turns. Knees are single jointed knees that go back actually pretty far, if you can see this. Let's see, get this thing out of the way if we can. Bend that up. These things go pretty far back, actually. Yeah, at least 90 degrees. So yeah, that's not bad. Pretty good. No boot cut swivel, but there is swivel at the knee down here. It does rotate like that. And then you've got really good ankle joints down here. They go down quite a bit, up. Not bad. That's pretty good. And then you've got rocker at the foot, so on a pivot there. So yeah, not bad. He's able to stand really well. Can go out. I mean, it's getting trapped by this traffic cone skirt or whatever this is, wrap. But they go way far out, pretty far out, even more than that if you could get it past this. So not bad. I mean, not bad articulation for a funny old alien character. He actually can do quite a bit. Not bad, and he does look good with the hat on. But like I said, it's just kind of weird. It doesn't want to stay on really well. I don't think that they thought this part through that much. I mean, it stays on, yeah, but I got a feeling it'll fall off. Well, maybe prove me wrong. It's staying on. I noticed earlier it was wanting to fall off though, so that's why I mentioned it. So just be aware of that it could fall off. But yeah, basically that's EMBO. He's a cool character. I like this guy. Really cool bounty hunter villain from the movie, and yeah. And just to put my 2 cents in with about the movie, I actually will say I liked the movie. I thought it was kind of a fun, irreverent movie, but it had a lot of action. It was pretty much action nonstop all the way through, which I like. I thought that was cool. And yeah, no, it doesn't. It's not a movie that's going to advance the canon or anything like that. But it is a good movie, and it had a decent plot. I have to admit, the plot was decent. It wasn't bad, and it was very good actually. I liked it a lot. So some people may disagree, and that's fine. But to me, I had a good time. I went with my son, and we watched it, and we both really actually enjoyed it. We were both pleasantly surprised. Let's put it that way. We both thought it was decent. So a lot better than we thought it would be. So, yep. But anyway, guys, that's about it for this one. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. I do appreciate it greatly. And we will catch you on the next one. Thanks again. Talk to you guys later. Bye-bye for now. And remember, my friends, may the force be with you always, my friends.
Do it, do it, do it.